Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports for today's World Rugby Rankings preview ahead of the first real serious week of the Autumn Nations Series and an opportunity for South Africa to go back to number one in the world. However, their fate is not entirely in their own hands with them needing Ireland to not win tonight against New Zealand if this were to be the case. But yeah, potentially lots and lots of different movement across the next few weeks with lots of very interesting games like Ireland versus New Zealand tonight, like South Africa versus Scotland this weekend. But before we get into the permutations and sort of the movements that can happen, please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so we're really back. We are, aren't we? And very, very excited to see what South Africa is going to do against Scotland on Sunday. But the big game of the weekend is probably tonight, Ireland versus New Zealand, and it should be an absolute cracker. And a big opportunity for Ireland to actually extend their lead on the top of the world ranking tables, which is where they sit currently. So let's get into it, shall we? So the big thing is, at the moment, Ireland currently sits at 92.12 points on the top of the log. South Africa with 91.77. Now, that is due to the fact that we lost that game to Argentina and also the game that we lost to Ireland. Had we beaten Ireland, we probably would have had a bigger rise. They probably would have had a slightly bigger fall, and we probably would have been able to cope with that loss to Argentina. But that loss to Argentina, and then when we played against them, because they were then so low, we couldn't really gain enough against Ireland. That's how the rankings work. So at the moment it goes Ireland, South Africa, New Zealand, France, but France quite a lot further back, to be honest. It's 92.12, 91.77, 89.67. So let's go through some of the highlights, shall we? So South Africa will return to number one in the world if they beat Scotland on Sunday and Ireland fail to beat New Zealand. However, if we were to draw to Scotland and Ireland lose, we would still return to number one. Ireland, however, are guaranteed to remain on top of the rankings if they beat New Zealand. Doesn't matter what happens on Sunday. If they win tonight, they will stay number one. Their advantage could increase to 3.35 rating points if they win and Scotland beats South Africa. Given the fact that Scotland is down in 7th place at the moment, there'll be a large drop of points from South Africa if we were to lose to them. New Zealand could also end the weekend as number one for the first time since the 2019 Rugby World Cup semi-final if they beat Ireland and South Africa lose to Scotland, which would see the All Blacks go from third to first. If South Africa were to draw, then New Zealand need to beat Ireland by more than 15 points to get that top spot and swap places with Ireland. France cannot improve their rating as Japan as a result of 14.65 difference between the two sides before the home weighting is factored in. But there is plenty of other movement across the other potential teams. So, I lost my place here. Here we go. 4 teams can end the weekend in fourth. So at the moment, France are currently fourth, but Argentina, England, and Scotland can all go into fourth if France were to lose to Japan at home. Argentina will jump up to 2 places in fourth if they beat Italy and France are beaten, regardless of what happens between England and Australia. For England to go up to fourth, they need to beat Australia and hope that Argentina and Scotland also do not win, as well as France losing by more than 15 points. So far more complicated for them to go into fourth. If Argentina and Scotland do win, then England will fall down to 6th place, even if they beat the Wallabies by more than 15 points, to if France is defeated by a smaller margin. England have not been as low as 7th since February 2016. Scotland must win by more than 15 points if Argentina secure a narrow victory in order to reach a new high of 4th place. So they have to beat the Boks quite substantially, whilst Italy are currently at their highest ever position of 8th and cannot go any higher even if they beat Argentina by more than 15 points, as there's another combination of results to make this possible. But they could improve their ranking and then next week potentially move up. It says that Azuri could beat Los Pumas and still fall a place if Australia beat England at Allianz Stadium. I mean, you wonder about the logic of that. You know, Italy going to beat Argentina, who are ranked 2 sides up, but can fall below to Australia if Australia were to beat England, who's only 1 side ranked up than Argentina. A bit of a strange one, that. But that's the system. And Fiji could climb as many as 2 places with a victory over Wales, depending on the scoreline and the different results, whilst Wales cannot improve on the 11th place that they currently sit at the moment. However, they could drop as low as 12th if they lose to Fiji by more than 15 points and Japan were to beat France by the same margin. Japan would jump 3 places in this case, also climbing above both Samoa and Georgia, who are not playing this weekend. And Georgia's actually playing All Blacks 15 at the moment. And there's a whole bunch of games with sort of Portugal and the like. So it's quite a lot of movement that can potentially happen on the rankings. So, and this is what's always been interesting, because this is kind of the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks will determine how these rankings will end at the end of the year, when we have, the World Rugby Awards and the best team of the year, etc., etc. So at the moment, I think the best team of the year, it will be between Ireland and South Africa. And I think this Autumn Nation Series might very well determine that. I wouldn't be surprised if Ireland were to win the team of the year, given the fact that if they were to go beat New Zealand tonight, for example, it would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Because they've won the Six Nations, lost one to South Africa, beat South Africa. South Africa only lost 1 game so far this season. So it's going to be quite a bit of a tussle between the two, I think, for World Team of the Year. But what do you think of the rankings? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.